everyone, Karen here. Today we're going to make a slide reveal card. Now the one we're going to make is going to be like this, where it's going to have a 5x7, it's going to have a 4x6 opening. We're going to pull it, and when we pull it, the elements that we have here on the front pop up and your message comes out the bottom. And this is another one I made, and these were both with a diamond press set, and we are going to use that today, but we're going to use some different pieces from it. So let me get this camera turned around and I'll show you how we're going to do this. Alright, so these are the two cards that I made already, and like I showed you a minute ago, you pull up and they go like this. Now you may have seen reveal cards like this before, where they're kind of like this, and when you pull it up, you put your message down here, but I decided to do these a little bit backwards. So what you're going to need here are, you're going to need two 5x7s. One is we're going to cut like this, and we'll get to that in a second, and then you're going to need one that is going to be 4x6.5. And we're going to score that at the 1/2 inch line down here. Alright, so I have two 5x7s. This one's already cut, but I'm going to go over how we're going to do this. Because I have an SVG that you can download if you don't want to have to measure this, and it will cut it up for you. But I also have the template here that you can also download. That will be, you can follow along here and just measure it out. So we have the two 5x7s. And we have the 4x6.5, and I also have a teeny tiny little round die. You just need something really small. And what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the two 5x7s. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on here to hold them together. Right, I'm just going to grab some washi tape because I don't want these to slide around when I run them through the die cut machine. So I am just going to put a little piece of tape there. And I'm going to take that little round die, and I'm going to put it down here on the bottom to where it's like hanging off, about halfway. This isn't a precise thing, but you do want it in the middle. So if this is 4 inches, if this is 5 inches across, you want to put this at 2.5. And you're going to want to hang it off about half. And we're going to tape that down, and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Alright, so now we have a little notch cut through both papers. And let me get this washi tape off. Now I will just flip this other one over. Let's see, let's pull this apart. Since I tore that a little bit there, I'm going to make this the inside. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is we have to get out a ruler, and we need to measure down 1 inch by 1 inch all the way around. Let me move this die before I lose it. Put that over there. Grab a pencil. Alright, so this ruler here, this is the Tim Holtz one. Now it is 1/4 inch either way here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this line here is 1 inch, and this is 1 inch. So if I measure to this point here, I'm 1 inch down and 1 inch across. Just kind of nice having this ruler like this. So I'm going to bring it, let me get rid of that so we're not looking at white on white. Alright, that's a little better. Now we're looking at gray. Alright, so I'm going to line this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 inch across. And 1 inch down, and put a mark, and I'm going to come up 1 inch from the bottom to 6 and put a mark. I'm then going to come to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to start measuring from the bottom just because I'm flipping it upside down. We're going to come up 1 inch. Now I did it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 1 inch, and there's 1 inch here, and make sure we're even here. And 1 inch here. So now we've measured 1 inch in. So now what we need to cut is this here, this side, and across the top. We are not cutting the bottom. That's going to be scored. I'm going to take out a trimmer. And I know this is 5, so I'm going to take this to 4. And I'm going to come up here to my line, and I'm going to go down to 6. Now, with the lines you have on there, if you feel secure with a straight edge, the other way you can do this is you can take your ruler, if it has a metal side like this, take your craft knife, line it up this way, and connect the two dots. You can do it either way. All right, but I'm going to use the trimmer. And I know it's already cut, but I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, so now we're going to do the other side. We're going to line this up. At 6. All right, I'm going to come up to my little mark here. I'm going to go down to the other mark. Then I'm going to flip the paper the other way. I'm going to go back to 4. I'm going to start at my mark and go to the other mark. And now you've cut the 3 sides. Don't cut the 4th side. Leave that hanging. Alright, so now we have our loose paper here. This will be our back. And this is going to get glued to here. So we need to score this at a 1/2 inch. So take out your favorite scoreboard. Doesn't really matter what kind. And come in and score it at a 1/2 inch. Half an inch and down. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is ink this up. And we don't want to fold this yet, because if you fold it and then ink it, you're going to end up with a weird line going across the middle. So first we're going to ink. So I am going to use blue raspberry, passionate pink, and wild dandelion to ink this up. And I'm just going to put just kind of a rainbow kind of background. I'm just going to use the back of my template here. Let me move these out of the way, give myself some room here. So I'm going to start with the pink. I'm just going to put some pink over here, some pink over here, maybe some over here, maybe a little over here. That's probably enough. So now I'm going to grab some blue. And this is the blue raspberry. And we're going to put some blue over here. We're going to put some blue over here. Maybe some up here. A little down here. That's probably good. Might go back and put some more pink in here. Blend this together, because where you put the two together, you get kind of a nice shade of purple. A little more over here. And where the yellow and the pink come together, you're going to get an orange. Oh, Gina K's inks are really good about that, about the way they blend. They really do blend to a third color. Oh, I just stuck that in pink. Alright, let me wipe this off. Alright, so now let's go with yellow. Put some yellow in here. You can see here it makes this a little orange, makes this a little teal. Now we have lots of colors in here. Cover the whole thing. Now we have lots and lots of color. Let's go back and put some more pink in here. And I think that is good. Now we also need to ink our 5x7 base, but we only have to worry about the middle part, because the only part we're going to see is what's going to be in here. We really only just want some color in the middle so it's not plain. Well, let me make sure I'm using the right brushes here. Let's put some yellow on here. Put some pink on here. All right, let's put some blue. And we'll blend some over the top here. we can get some more of that pretty green we ended up with on the other pie piece. See, I think we need some more yellow. And that's probably pretty good. But see how nice Gina's inks blend? You get all kinds of different colors as everything blends together. Because it is true statement, all inks will blend, but it's how they blend together. Sometimes they will just, touch each other and they will blend, but they don't actually change colors as they touch. And that's why I like Gina's inks, because you really do get all kinds of color. Because just by using those 3 colors, look at all the different colors in here. There's orange, there's some green, there's purple. There is like all kinds of colors in there. I like it. Alright, so now, let's see, where are we? So we have this done. This is inked. We have our pieces that are going to go on top. Let me move our scratch paper out of the way. So let's figure out how we're going to lay this out. But now we can fold this in half. So this needs to be scored. Let's just take out a scoreboard here. Alright, and I'm just going to pick a line here. Let me line this up here so I can find a line. I think that should be about a 4. And I am going to go from the top to the bottom here. Put a little score in there. So now we can fold it up. So now we want to go to that score line and just fold this over. You could measure it and score it again, but it works out just as well to just fold it in half. It will get you there. Alright, so now let's see what this looks like. When we open it, we're going to see that. So that looks pretty good. That'll be pretty good. Alright, so now we have this piece here, which we need to stamp. I got some ink on that, that'll be fine. So let me bring in my stamping platform. And I'm going to use the black Gina K almond ink to do this. Now, when this is in the middle here, and this is glued on here, we have to figure out how much of this we're actually going to see. So you're only going to see about the bottom 4 inches or so down here when this opens. So we don't want to stamp anything up here. So I'm going to put this on here. Oh, my stamp is still on there. I'm going to take my ruler. I'll flip this over. And I'm going to measure up 4 inches. Because that's about how much of this we're going to see. Alright, so I'm just going to hold that there for a second. And I'm going to grab the stamp. I lava you lots. And this was part of the same set. So that's what I'm going to put down here with the lava lamp. So I'm going to measure this about here. That way a person has room to sign down here. So I think about there. Make sure we're in the center. And I'm going to stamp it there. Alright, that's probably going to be fine. So let me take this off. And now we need to color those letters real quick. So these are the colors I've been using. So let's see. So let's start off with maybe yellow. so let's get this constructed. So we have our 5x7 with the notch cut out. We have the 5x7 that was cut 1 inch in on 3 sides and scored at the 4th. We have our 4x6.5, which we put I lava you lots. And I want to color this a little bit. I'm going to put some yellow on here. I just want some color. Let me grab the scrap. And put some pink. I'll give us some orange in between there. Grab some blue. That just makes it a lot more interesting than having a plain white card. And you pull it out. Continues on with the tie-dye we have going on here. A little more yellow. I think that's probably good. So let's put this away. Alright, so now we have to attach this to this. Now the way we're going to do that is, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to center it here in the middle. Like this. So you want this in the center and flush with the bottom. Alright, so now we have our tab that is going to get folded over. Actually, it's going to get folded forward. And we're going to put some glue on the front here. And you don't have to go all the way across because we're covering this 4 inches here. So once again, let's put this in the middle. You move it up a little bit. Put it in the middle. Let's slide it down towards flush. Alright, and then we're going to press down. Move this out of the way. You can see what I'm doing here. So we're taking the 4 inches across and we're attaching it flush with the top piece here. Alright, Molly wanted to go out. Alright, so now we have this like this. So this is attached here. And let me fold it out this way so you can see. So we've attached it to the top. We folded it forward and attached it here. So now we have these 2 little tabs that are hanging out. Sometimes those get caught on your card. So I am going to trim this down the edge here into this score line. I've cut that out. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to go across this across where the score line is. Match it up to where our 4-inch paper is here. That got really close there. Yeah, I'm still getting used to having this camera, this new camera, so close. Alright, so there's that. So that will keep it from catching. Alright, so now that I've flipped it around, let's look at what we have here. Alright, so we have our 5x7 that is cut 1 inch in on each side, and we have this attached on the inside. Alright, and we flipped this down and attached it to the back side of this here. Alright, so that's what we have, and this is what's going to come down like this. So now we need to attach this to here. So the best way to do this is to flip this upside down. We're going to take some foam. Move the glue out of the way because we don't need any more glue. And I'm going to use 1/16 foam. You don't need a lot of space, and you can do this without the foam, but I find that it slides a little easier if you do put a little foam. So on the top here I have a 1/2 inch wide, so I'm going to just put that across the top. Now for the sides here, I'm going to use my skinny foam, which is I believe it's a 1/4 inch wide. Yeah, this is a 1/4 inch wide foam. And I'm going to snip a piece off here. And I am going to run 1 piece along this side. And you don't have to go all the way to the top and bottom. This is just kind of going to give it a little room to move around. And it's going to give it a little bit of a guide so it doesn't flip around. Say maybe put that on a little too tight. Let me pull that off. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we have this. So now to get it all lined up nice and straight, I would just take the top off first. All right, I will take the printed side, the ink side is going to go on top. I would line up the bottom here, nice and flush. Stand it up because it's going to be the same all the way around. So if you've got it lined up in your fingers, oops, it's touching where I don't want it to touch it. All right. So line it up, flush with the bottom, even with the sides, and then press the top together. So now you've got your top all nice and straight. So now you can just go back, pull your tape off your sides, and make sure you're not sticking the middle piece in there, and just lay it down. And it will be nice and even. Alright, so now this is the base completed. So now you can decorate it however you want. You can stamp this after you have it put together if you want, but I like to get it stamped beforehand. So now we have our base. So now it's basically however you want to decorate it. So I am going to use some other pieces from that set, and I have the lava lamp, I have birthday wishes coming your way, I have a smiley face, and I have some flowers and things. So when you pull this up, you only want to attach things to this bottom part here, because the rest of it's going to fold away. So if you want to fold it up right before you attach things, you absolutely can. Now I'm thinking I want to have the lava lamp here, lava lamp here. I'm thinking I'm going to have the peace sign over here. I'm going to have birthday wishes coming your way over here. Now you can hang things off, just make sure you only attach it to the centerpiece. So like I can have this up here hanging off, but I'm only going to attach it whatever's on top of this centerpiece here. So we're going to do this. I'm thinking maybe we'll have the smiley face over here, which I'm going to attach with some acetate. And maybe we'll put a flower down here. Let's see, maybe the smaller flower would be better. We'll put a flower here. A little love over here. Yeah, I think that flower. Yeah, that gives birthday wishes coming your way a little more room. So I think like this. Alright, so some of this is going to go up on foam. So let's start with that. So I want to put the lava lamp on foam. But I only need to put the foam from here down. So I'm going to put a piece here, because you don't want anything attached above this line. If you're going to attach things, it has to be below. Now, I think I'm going to use a piece of acetate to attach that smiley face and have it floating around. Let's get the lava lamp on there. So that we want, and you don't want anything past the fold here. So I'm going to put this like this. Yep, I'm good. Alright, now I need to get the birthday wishes coming your way. I don't think I want to put that on straight. Let's see. I think I want the flower on foam down here. Put that on foam. Let's put the little love on foam. We'll put that down here in the corner. Let's see. The peace sign. Put that on a little piece of foam. Now this, I need to make sure the foam, let me move these out of the way for a moment. Let me pull it up. So this needs to be like here. There we go. So that can stay there. So let's get our birthday wishes on here. I think that will be flat. I think we'll just glue that on flat. Let's get glue. I did have to stamp this a couple times when I was doing it because I couldn't get it quite the way I wanted it. I was trying to do it as one piece and just didn't quite work out. Glue this on here. Doing it at funny angles. Alright, so now we have this. That will pop up. Okay, so now we have the smiley face and the flower. So do I want to attach, let's see. Now I think I want a little bit of space there. Alright, let me grab a piece of acetate. Alright, so I cut myself a little 1/2 wide strip of acetate. So what I want to do here, so if this is flat here and I want this over here, so I'm going to cut the acetate to here. And I'm going to put some tacky glue, so let me put this away. And you can use the dry adhesives for this, but I'm in the land of heat and humidity, and the dry adhesives do not do well down here. They gum up and cause all kinds of havoc. And this will indeed dry, and it will be fine. So I'm just going to angle it. I know it's hard to see acetate, but I have it angled here. And I'm going to attach the smiley face up here to the top of the acetate. So let's see. I know it's going to need a second to dry. So now when I pull it up, the smiley face is up there. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the flower, because I want the flower to be over here someplace. Give it a little space. So I need to cut the acetate about here. I'm going to put some glue on the bottom. I'm going to slide that behind the peace sign. And I will put some glue on the top of the acetate. I will attach the flower. Now let's see what we have now. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So now the flower will stand up. Lay that back down. Yeah, I think that's a lot more fun. I love you lots. And that will stand up like that. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see, what else do we need to do, or are we done? Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to put the pull stamp on there. So with the notch in there, it's pretty obvious that you need to pull it. But I do have this set from Gina K that's called Make It Move Mini. And it has all kinds of push, pull, look inside, press, turn, arrows. It has, you know, all the things you would ever need. So I'm going to put the little pull down here. I know it's brave to do it at the end here. Let me pull that off. That's dry. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this here. I'm going to take the little pull here. Make sure I'm not putting it on upside down. I'm going to put the pull there. Press down. Put a little ink. Press down. Press down again. I'll do it one more time. It does say pull here, but my little circle here isn't big enough, so pull is sufficient. That's all that's going to fit. Alright, that is all set. Alright, so I think we are done with this card. Let's take a look. So I think this is kind of dry. It's going to need a few more minutes. So we have birthday wishes coming your way. And when you pull this up, it says lava you lots. I think that's fun. But this can be applied to any stamp set you have, you know, in your stash. And I try to make my cards that way, that you can use anything in your stash. I just happen to use this one because I have it. But anything you have, trees, flowers, I mean, presents, anything. You can, you know, put Christmas trees on here. You can pretty much do anything on here. This kind of goes up and down, and it's kind of fun. And here again, here are the other two that I made. This one says good vibes coming your way. And when you pull it up, it has a rainbow there, and it has Groovy birthday. And this one says happy birthday wishes coming your way. And it has Stay Groovy on here, which is kind of fun. And I did put a circle there. Now I could put something on here because I didn't put something on this one. But I think this one's kind of fine by itself because it has all this coming up here. So you really don't see that in the back. So I'm not going to put something on that one this time. So there it is. So if you liked it, give me a thumbs up because that's how YouTube counts everything. And if you want to see the other videos, subscribe. And I'm trying to put out 2 videos a week, one with Stampin' Dies like this, and I am going to start having more with SVGs because I have been working on a project with shaped number cards that will start coming out soon. I'm on number 4. And I do have some other things that I want to talk about with some markers and some other videos that will be coming out. And until next time, stay crafty.